guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today, I have another underused match against Slick this time. I'm using the same team as the last battle, just because this team's kind of interesting, and it's pretty fun, so let's get it started. He's going to be leading off with his wait for it, it's the Arcanine. That's, if you're waiting for it, it's the Arcanine, I assure you. So, he leads off with Arcanine, I lead off with Torterra again, and actually it turns out to be a rather decent lead choice for me, and then I realized that, hey, a Flare Blitz can actually one-hit KO a Torterra, so I was kind of like, wait a second, what? Holy shit. I was actually running damage calcs during the battle, and the reason why I stayed in because it looked like a Flare Blitz from an Arcanine holding anything but a Choice Band or leftovers would leave Torterra with a little bit of HP, and I probably would have been able to do a decent amount of damage with Earthquake. But that's not the case. This guy's Life Orb, and that kind of is a bummer. So I go into Tubby here as I'm like, you know, Tubby can just wall the shit out of that Arcanine. I'm just going to go for a Body Slam, see if I can't paralyze something. That'd be pretty cool. But in comes this spiky-ass motherfucker named Peanut, and Snorlax does not like peanuts, not one bit. So I decided, you know, he's going to get the hell out of there. As now I'm going to go into McFlurry. McFlurry's going to go ahead and take this Leech Seed, which is kind of nice. I'd rather have McFlurry Leech Seeded than Snorlax, so that's kind of cool. And I also don't know what this Chestnut wants to do. I don't even battle against a lot of Chestnuts. Just, they don't seem very viable, especially in underused, you know. Shouts out to this guy for using the damn Chestnut, though. This thing's fucking sweet. So he goes for the Spiky Shield, as he just kind of wants to go ahead and see what I'm going to use. Turns out, though, I'm like, I got spikes of my own, motherfuckers. Start scattering them around his side of the field, so next Pokemon he sends in aren't going to enjoy them spikes at all. So that's pretty cool. He realizes he does not want to take an Ice Beam to the face here, as he's going to switch into ZZ Top, which is the Porygon Z. Clever nickname. I like it. Gets hurt by spikes, as Frostlass is just going to go ahead and lay out one more layer of spikes, and his side of the field's looking relatively spiked the fuck up. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, McFlurry's staying in here just getting her ass sapped by some Leech Seeds. So I'm like, you know what, get the hell out of there, McFlurry. I'm going to bring in Juicy Dreams here. Honestly, this was just an absolutely awful play on my part, and as you'll see here, he ends up going for the Dark Pulse, which was the pretty predictable play on the Frostlass, and then I bring out my frickin' Musharna, who surprisingly takes that decently well with a nice little critical hit. I was like, holy shit, that was a critical hit. Imagine if that didn't even crit. Wouldn't even gave two shits about it. But I'm like, you know what, I'm going to switch out. I'm just going to go back into Tubby. When in doubt, bring in Tubby. Like, honestly, this Dark Pulse is going to do a decent amount to me. Considering how bad of a Dark weakness this team actually has, Snorlax pretty much handles it quite well. So, Snorlax is looking awesome over here. That Porygon Z is like, well, fuck this, I'm going to switch the hell out. Back into Peanut. The reason why he wants to switch into Peanut is because he wants to get a Leech Seed off on Snorlax. Having a Leech Seed on a Pokemon with a whole bunch of HP is quite helpful, and it sucks if you're the one being seeded. So I get one curse up here, and I'm like, you know, is it worth it for me to stay in here, maybe keep getting curses up, try to Body Slam? I mean, the only really attack I have on this thing is Body Slam. The other Earthquake, or the other attacking move that Snorlax has is Earthquake. So yeah, so he goes for the Leech Seed there. I go for the Body Slam. I just want to get a Paralyze on this thing. It'll make dealing with it quite a bit easier, but unfortunately, Tubby's not Tubby enough and doesn't paralyze it. So I'm like, well, as unfortunate as that looks, being able to fucking Body Slam on a spiky ass dude, like that'd be just terrible. That's a terrible call on my part, bro. Sorry, Tubby. That was probably just an awful experience there. So Tubby's like, you know what, Haydunn, I've had enough of your shit, so I'm gonna switch the hell out of here. I go into McFlurry because I predict the Hammer Arm or some sort of move like that. Works out perfectly. My Ghost Ass is not going to get affected by that, and Frostlass is looking pretty awesome out here. Frostlass is one of those Pokemon that I've always, you know, like, been interested in, but I never even actually end up using it that much. But finally got a Frostlass going, so we'll see what I can do with it. I end up going for the Ice Beam on the Chestnut as he switches into the Porygon Z. Pretty nicely going to take that, and I kind of figured the only reason why he would send it in is if he had a Choice Scarf being able to outspeed and then kill me with a Dark Pulse. So I decided to switch into Pepe Le Pew here, who takes a Tri Attack for some reason. I was like, holy shit, I could have stayed in on Frostlass. He made a really nice prediction there, going for the unexpected move. But fortunately, Pepe Le Pew's got that Sucker Punch that no one expects, and I'm able to kill that Porygon Z. So I was like, hell yeah, that is a big threat out of the way. So now he's going to bring in the Arcanine, and Extreme Speed is definitely going to take out Pepe Le Pew. But I get that Young Aftermath, but it doesn't do enough to kill it. And I was like, well, that's shitty. I probably should have switched on that Extreme Speed. I'm not sure why. Yeah, don't ask me, okay? God. So, I'm going to bring in McFlurry now. I know he can't Extreme Speed me, and I don't really even give a shit. He knows I'm faster than him, basically. So, he wants to save his Arcanine for later to just come in and die by some spikes and stuff. So I'm like, that is fine by me, sir. So I go for an Ice Beam just because I didn't know what I expected to switch in. I kind of predicted the Tentacruel at this time, but I didn't honestly, I didn't know what else to do. So I just went for the Ice Beam there. So now that this Tentacruel's out, Tentacruel, not cool. He's not cool. He's a cruel guy. Sorry. So he goes for the sludge wave, as I stayed in basically just because I know this thing can't really hurt me. So I'm completely fine with staying in here. Maybe just, yeah, I just got one little layer of spikes back up again. You know what I'm saying? I think I have like 3 layers now, so that's pretty awesome. I'm going to go into Juicy Dreams, and I'm going to take a Sludge Wave quite nicely here. And I really wanted to kind of just revive Juicy Dreams here, maybe get some Calm Mind support or something. Maybe make this freaking Mashana useful like I designed it to be. But that doesn't usually seem to be the case. I guess when you're using this thing and underused, it's a little bit of a long shot. But it's the way I live my life. So he goes for the Toxic here, as I'm going to go for the Moonlight. I am going to end up getting some health back, and I'm like, alright, look at me. Just fucking back to like pretty decent health. Unfortunately, though, I am poisoned, so that's no fun. And I can't really start setting up Calm Minds yet because he can actually just go ahead and switch into something physical attacking and then end up just like, you know, ruining my day here. So I'm getting hurt by poison. Now he's going to go ahead and go for the Protect. I'm not really sure. He just kind of wanted to scout out what I was going to do. Is I went for the Baton Pass. I actually predicted a switch. The reason why I went for the Baton Pass there is because I thought he would switch, and he would switch first, and then I would be able to Baton Pass and then kind of see what he was going to switch into, and then base my Baton Pass off of that. But unfortunately, he just went for the Protect. So I ended up Baton Passing into Meloetta, who's going to get a Choice Specs Psychic off on this thing, and that is not going to do the trick. Not at all. Tentacruel has way too much special defense, but luckily I take that Scald quite nicely, but unfortunately I get the freaking burn, and Meloetta does not like being burned. But then again, I mean, no one really likes being burned, and considering she's a special attacker, she doesn't really care, so that's fine. Now he's just going to go ahead and switch into Wait For It, the Arcanine, just to kind of probably scout out what I'm going to go ahead and do. Since I am Choice Specs, though, I end up just going for the Psychic, and I hit Air, and I'm like, alright, you take that, Air. Take that Psychic. I bet that hurt like a bitch. So now he's finally going to get a Pokemon out here, and he brings out this Noivern, who I get pretty much completely forgot about for the whole duration of the match so far, and I was like, well, this is something I'm going to have to deal with. Holy shit. So I bring in Mashana, and I'm like, you know, I can take special attacks for days. That Air Slash actually doesn't end up doing a damn thing, and I'm like, shit, this thing is awesome as hell. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out what item this Noivern's running, just because that would be some pretty helpful information. I want to say like Choice Scarf or something like that, because he stays in and goes for another Air Slash. Had he gone for like a Draco Meteor, that definitely would have killed me. But I'm able to get at least one Psychic off, and I even lowered special defense. So I'm like, hell yeah, Mashana, you're putting in work. That's what I like to see. I end up actually living that that poison damage with 2, and I'm like, yes. Perfect. My plan is almost complete, as he's going to go ahead and switch into his Tentacruel, who's definitely just going to die to the spikes, and I was like, well, shit, he probably just ended up wanting to switch out just because he wanted to get rid of that special defense drop, but I don't feel like it really would have mattered, quite honestly, if he had just stayed in one more turn and then killed me. But nonetheless, I go ahead and die to my poison, and we have an empty-ass battlefield going on right now, so I'm like, who would he want to switch in? He ends up going for the Electivire, as I go into McFlurry just because I consider, I was like, you know, I'm fast as hell, I should be able to have the edge on whatever he sends in, so I go for the Ice Beam, knowing that most Electivires are Assault Vested. It doesn't do that much, but he's able to go for the Wild Charge. That's going to kill McFlurry, and that was probably one of my worst plays there. I should not have let McFlurry die. Damn it. Damn it, past self. What are you doing? So, I'm going to bring out Meloetta. Just going to be able to go ahead and finish off this Evire with a Psychic. And that is the end of Thor right there. But hey, using an Electivire and UU. That's what I'm talking about, brother. So, Meloetta's going to get hurt by her burn. She doesn't really give a fuck. But unfortunately, stupid Galactus is going to come out. And since I don't have any Stealth Rocks, I only have Spikes. That's pretty unfortunate. So, he's able to outspeed me. He ends up going for the Draco Meteor. That's going to kill Meloetta. And I'm like, no. My beautiful Meloetta, you asshole. You asshole dragon. But luckily, I still got myself a full health Tubby. Check out how this is going to play out. So, Tubby's going to come out here. I know I can take basically any attack. Considering he's probably going to even want to switch, he actually got that special attack drop. So he ends up switching into the stupid Peanut thing. So I'm like, alright, Peanut, this is me and you right now, bro. I get one curse up, just so my defense is going to be to the point where maybe I can live like a Hammer Arm or whatever the hell he wants to do. You know, I don't know. I just wanted to get a curse up just so maybe my like body slams will do a decent amount. So I'm +1 attack, +1 defense. He's just going to go for the lead seat on the first turn. That actually turns out to be a pretty good play, as I go for one more curse just because I'm like, alright, 2 will do it. 1's not enough. 1 is definitely not enough. But yeah, so I'm at +2 attack, +2 defense. I'm feeling pretty confident against this Chestnut, and then you'll see kind of what happens here. So I get my leftovers, I'm at like full health, and then I get sapped by lead seed, and then it takes a whole bunch. And then it gets this stupid turtle, spiky Bowser looking motherfucker back to like full health. So This is awful. He ends up going for the hammer arm and misses, and I'm like, holy shit, thank you. Thank you, hammer arm, for missing. I go for the body slam, do end up getting the paralyzed, and I'm like, okay, you know, body slam isn't the most viable move for Snorlax, considering even if you do get the paralyzed, you're generally still slower, because you, after a couple curses and shit, you're just definitely going to be slower. So, seeing here, now, watching this in, like, the second time, seeing the Leech Seed there is really kind of, I should have probably switched out, as he goes for... He tries to go for attack, gets paralyzed, gets fully paralyzed. I'm like, alright, the paralyzed is actually coming in handy here. I'm gonna get one more curse. I'm just gonna get one more. Maybe my attack and defense gonna be a little bit higher. Wait, no, what did I say? I was gonna switched out earlier. I can't switch out. Snorlax is my last Pokemon. I'm fucking tripping. Sorry. So, Snorlax being my last Pokemon, I'm just kind of last ditch efforting it here. Maybe I can get a couple more Parahaxes or something like that. I know that this Chestnut's my only problem. If that Noivern comes out, I can handle it no problem. Unfortunately, he's going to go ahead and get a critical hit on the hammer arm, and that is going to break through all of my defenses. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the match. So, I lose that one. But that was still a really fun match. I had a good time, Slick. We'll probably have to rematch pretty soon here. But I'm going to definitely mess around with this team a little bit. I do enjoy using this Meloetta and stuff. I might even build a couple more new teams and stuff. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, click the thumbs up button and I will love you probably forever. I mean, maybe not forever, but for a damn long time. We love you a long time.